Hi, hello. Happy 2022. We got some weird lighting going on, so that's exciting. I'm on the floor, still taking care of my wellness and still checking in with my body, letting go of some stress, and here to invite you to join me if you feel like it. I think it must be the overcast day outside making this lighting the issue that it is. Don't have any war paint on this morning, but don't worry, I'm still the warrior princess. Still put my foot right in your butt if I need to. I'm just kidding. Kidding, not kidding. Come on now. Still silly, still me, still singing my life, although maybe I might have to wait an hour or two because I'm a little froggy this morning, and so grateful that my eye wasn't swollen shut this morning like it was yesterday, but still riding the waves of a pretty significant flare-up, and good time to remind you there's not one right way, there's not one wrong way. Wellness is a journey, not a destination, so and we're all in this together. I'm okay. You're okay. It's going to be all right. And ain't nobody going to make it out alive. So I hope you're remembering to live your life a little bit. I'm going to get a little on you. That's what I like to say. I'm keeping my fuzzy hat on because pretty sure I got hat hair. And also it's fuzzy and cozy and it's just a little bit chilly in here. I've been warming it up for a while. Gonna take just a couple minutes to bring my awareness and attention into my body, dissipate some stagnation, do a little stretching, and as always, I invite and encourage you to join me to whatever degree you feel like. Mostly want to remind you, you are worthy of your own unconditional love, and your body's the one thing that you can't live without, at least so far. We're working on that stuff, but in the meantime, why not give yourself a little wacky, wavy, inflatable arm tube man impression time? A little bit of permission to heavy sigh, move about the cabin, maybe do a little wiggling around in the shoulder area, and in the neck area, and in the hip area, and in the fingers and toes area. Come on, get a little silly with me. Maybe you're not silly enough. That could be the whole thing. Might just solve everything right there. How do you know if you don't try it, is all I'm saying. I'm going to take a breath or so. Root these sits bones into the earth through my nice cozy pillow here. Straighten out the spine and hang myself from the center of the sky a little bit. Shake these shoulders around a little bit more. I'm going to do some deep breathing and shoulder shrugging to start, just to kind of break up the crunchies up in here. So breathing in. In fact, I'm going to add fingers and toes, clenching all that, holding, and then it helps to take another little inhale at the top of that and then let go. There's science behind that breathing technique, by the way. It does reset the nervous system. Let's try it a couple more times. Breathing in, holding, and then breathing in a little bit more. Let that go. Shaking that off. And one more good deep breath in. Gathering up any tension and stress, and then just letting it go. Giving it back to the universe to be recycled. There's plenty more stresses on the way. You don't need to hang on to every little worry. You can just let go of that. Let go of the past like it was yesterday. Make room for the right now. It's pretty fantastic. Right now I have a cramp trying to happen in my foot as a response to all of that. I will note that moving energy through the body, which I do a lot of, but not always perfectly, go figure, probably not ever perfectly, tends to sometimes create problems, blowouts, hot spots, cold spots, stagnation, overstimulation. All that is part of the big basket of self-regulation and wellness that I'm into, and doing my best to navigate and learn about. I invite you to join me if you feel like it, and I also welcome your questions, comments, input. Let's do some arm stretching through the shoulder area. I'm bringing that left arm across the body. Let's wiggle that around using the right arm, and then wiggle itself around using its own shoulder, and then kind of a combination of itself and the other. I'm going to do some twisting back and forth. Again, just loosening up that shoulder. Use both together. And then shaking that off. Let's do the other side. Bring in the right arm across the body, holding on to that with the left arm. Trying to relax that arm and using the opposite arm to wiggle that around, and then using the arm to wiggle itself around, and then kind of using both, opposite arm and same arm, to really just wiggle around in the shoulder girdle, get that moving, dislodge, stagnation, explore range of motion. I tend to hold a lot of pain and stagnation and numbness all through here, so it's part of my regular routine to dislodge that and encourage it to flow, so we can keep using all these little bits. They are pretty useful, aren't they? Speaking of those little bits and their usefulness, let's do some little circles. Just checking in with the fingers. Nice and slow. Just giving those a stretch. And the other way. Again, there's not one right way, not one wrong way. I encourage you to listen to your own body. See if it's telling you something it needs. Do a little more stretching through the wrists here. I intend to do some writing today, which tends to accumulate a lot of tension and stress in this whole arm, shoulder, face region. Speaking of that, let's do some face relaxing here and here next up. If I can remember that long. You never can tell. We will see. Finishing up some stretches through the wrists, little bones in there. Lots of little bones just in this little region right here. It's good to stretch them out, wiggle them around, give them a chance to get rid of some of that stagnation. Let in the freshness, out with the old and busted, in with the new hotness. Let's do some more shoulder rolls while I'm thinking of it. Kind of move that around a little bit. I'm going to do a little bit slower this time, breathing in on the way up. Deliberately dropping the diaphragm and then dropping the shoulders and squeezing the diaphragm back up. Let's do a couple more of those. Just inviting some of that congestion to leave. Making room in the lungs for new energy. Let's go the other way around, breathing in on the way up. Invite you to try out a few different kinds of sighs and notice the different energy of different kinds of sighs. Again, there's not a right way or a wrong way. It's just about variety, diversity. That reminds me to show off my lovely gift from my favorite life partner, who made me this amazing felted, I'm going to call it a friendship bracelet, but it also feels very much like a graduation gift to me because it arrived right as I was finishing up my chakra activation series, which is something I used to be quite into and do a lot more, and I've strayed away from, and lo and behold, as my wellness becomes again more and more of a challenge, although it's been a challenge my whole life, or an challenge and an opportunity. Look at me talking about challenges and wanting my coffee. That's old patterning there. Just noticing. It's part of the work, noticing the patterns, noticing what serves us and what no longer serves us, and letting go of what no longer serves us to make room for more of what does serve us. That's just the whole game right there. The whole kit and caboodle, as my mom would say. I don't know where that phrase comes from. I will probably need to look it up now. I'm moving that pillow because I'm going to do a little bit of checking in with the ankles. And I don't know if I can get anywhere that I can still be in camera. There we go. Just doing a little ankle rotation. I encourage you, if you are in a place where you can put your feet in the air, even if it's on the couch, try it. It's a good strengthening exercise. It's a good way to check in with the core, and it's a good way to see the bottoms of your boots. Got stuff on them. Ooh, there's gunk. It's road gunk. It's not too bad. Let's do a little stretching this way. Yeah, that might be unpleasantness. We'll pretend like we don't know what that is, because we're not sure. It's true. I'm doing a little stretching back with the toes. Try not to bang my head on the wall. I would do some spinal rolls here, but I'm not lined up for it. So after we finish here in this little box, then I will do some more rolling this way and that way, to and fro, and I will also be standing on my head, because that's the thing I like to do every day. I guess before I do that, while I am in this little box, I will do a little squatting. Remind you, this is yet another great daily practice. Used to be a thing humans did all day, and in many parts of the earth still is, but here in our culture seems to be something that people don't like doing anymore. So I challenge and invite you to squat today. See if you can get your ankles down on the ground. See if you can get your elbows on the inside of your knees, and just do a little exploring, maybe. Stretching out the torso, stretching out the legs and arms. See if you can get a sensation of silliness. I think that's underutilized sensation myself. I'm liking the composition right here, so I'm just going to enjoy that for a moment. I've been reveling in the composition of rectangles lately, haven't we all? I remind you again that you are worthy of your own unconditional love. There's not one way. There's not one right way or one wrong way. It's all about the process. So I hope that you love yourself a little bit more, play a little bit more. Welcome 2022. I will be seeing you. Peace.